Hey guys and gals, it's your buddy Drew from Living History's Mysteries and Ferocious Feline Productions. You know, looking back through history, and not just old history, but even more recent history, you find a lot of stories that leave an impact. Back in 2003, just 2 years after the 9/11 attacks, a man by the name of Brian Wells started his day as he started any other, going to work at the local pizza parlor, picking up pizzas for delivery, and going out and meeting with the happy people of Erie, Pennsylvania. By the time that day ended, Brian would find himself to be a very unwilling participant in a very, very sad situation. Check this out. This is good.
This is a Fox News alert. Breaking news tonight in the so-called pizza bomber mystery. Now,
the guy just walked out with I don't know how much cash in a bag. He had a bomb or something wrapped around his neck. He's sitting in the parking lot on the Upper Pizza. I'm watching him out my rearview mirror right now.
It started as a normal summer day on August 28, 2003, in the quiet suburbs of Erie, Pennsylvania. But before it was over, this day would rock the small community to its core and make national headlines for its gruesome attempted bank robbery.
this is a Fox News alert. Breaking news tonight in the so-called pizza bomber mystery.
There is a new twist in a bizarre bank robbery story in Erie, Pennsylvania. The captured bank robber had a bomb on him. Now he's dead. And so is a co-worker, who also died under mysterious circumstances.
That ended with the death of a local middle-aged pizza delivery man named Brian Douglas Wells. Brian Wells spent the early part of that day delivering pizzas in the Erie area, as was his routine. But at some point in the afternoon, events suddenly spiraled out of control.
Now,
the guy just walked out with I don't know how much cash in a bag. He had a bomb or something wrapped around his neck. He's sitting in the parking lot on the Upper Pizza. I'm watching him out my rearview mirror right now.
A terrified Wells entered a PNC bank near his work with an explosive device locked around his neck. He carried a homemade cane shotgun and a note demanding $250,000 from the bank clerks. Just 10 minutes earlier, Wells was brought against his will to the parking lot of a McDonald's restaurant by several individuals. They locked the collar bomb around Wells's neck, gave him instructions and the list of robbery demands for the cashiers. It was all part of a bizarre extortion plot orchestrated by a few parties to strap a bomb around an unknowing victim and use them to secure the cash. And with the timer ticking, they sent Wells on his unwilling robbery mission. With no other choice, Wells stumbled into the bank, sweating bullets, and frantically handed over the robbery note. As the clock ticked down, the confused clerks stuffed a bag with just over $8,000 in cash. Meanwhile, police received a 911 call about the missing pizza man wandering the streets with what appeared to be a bomb strapped to his neck.
And Brian had said something about a bomb. It was Trooper Zamansky who went up and actually, using a small pair of scissors, cut the size of the shirt because whatever he had was underneath a t-shirt.
The bomb used consisted of a hinged collar that worked like a large handcuff to go around the neck, 4 keyholes that went under the chin, and a rectangular housing containing 2 pipe bombs and 2 kitchen timers.
That were recovered at the scene, I was able to assemble what I believe is an accurate replica of that device.
Authorities located Wells exiting the bank and apprehended him in the parking lot.
Can you pull the key out, started a timer, emergency, quick, get it. He never said who it was. He couldn't describe the...
They barricaded him as the bomb squad raced to the scene to attempt dismantling this collar explosive within the final few minutes. But it was too late.
His eyes just got real wide. And then he went to the back of his head. And that was the end of him.
With just seconds left on the timer, and with Wells handcuffed and pinned to the ground for safety, the sinister device detonated. The explosion was small, but at zero range it tore through Brian Wells' chest and neck, killing him instantly right before the eyes of multiple police officers. The madness had ended with Wells paying the ultimate price against his will in one of most outrageous bank heists in history, involving a hostage-turned-bank robber. As the case continued to develop, the investigation garnered national media coverage in America.
Direction. The man was sitting there as he was since about 3 o'clock when all of a sudden a loud explosion and he flipped onto his back and the state police troopers scrambled. They're still holding guns on him, as you can see. They're still not exactly sure his condition.
Less than 2 years since the September 11th attacks, many at first believed the incident to be terrorism-related. In the aftermath, the bizarre plot only thickened for investigators who struggled to piece together what happened and why. Several sources came forward shedding more light on the events leading up to Wells' abduction, and the names of two primary perpetrators emerged: Marjorie Diehl Armstrong and Kenneth Barnes. Evidence showed the bomb was made inside Diehl Armstrong's home, and the conspirators seemingly built the device intending to strap it to an unwitting third party to secure the cash from the bank that day. Why they chose Wells remains unclear to this day, but after almost 10 years investigating all the intricate details, a guilty verdict was reached in 2010 against Diehl Armstrong for orchestrating the robbery. 2 additional conspirators were convicted for involvement in building the bomb, but many questions still persist around why exactly Wells was picked and how much he potentially knew about the plot beforehand. In the years following Brian Wells' death, which shocked the nation on that tragic August day, the bizarre collar bomber case lives on as one of the most perplexing and needlessly violent attempted bank robberies in modern era. While police closed the investigation, the scenes of a terrified Wells shuffling through the bank and into the parking lot with a bomb strapped around his neck remain seared into the memories of Erie's stunned community.
Bomb or something wrapped around his neck. He's sitting in the parking lot on the Upper Peach. I'm watching him out my rearview mirror right now.
And justice for Wells still seems incomplete as some culpable parties took their knowledge of the full events to the grave.
Concern was safety. That's when the decision was made to do a...
They had to actually cut his head off to remove it.
It was, probably still is, the most difficult decision I've ever made.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like our content, please consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you and take care.
Welcome back. You know, it's like I was saying at the beginning. August 28th, 2003 started off like any other day for Brian Wells. His customers liked him. His employers liked him. His friends and family loved him. How was Brian picked as the unwilling pawn in this sad game? Was it random? Did they order a pizza and just decide when he came to the door that he was going to be the target? It's truly sad, but at least the people who orchestrated this crime were brought to justice. It just goes to prove how it could happen to anyone. even someone like a beloved pizza delivery man like Brian Wells. This has gone down in history as probably the craziest bank heist in U.S. history. I'm sure if Brian would have had a choice in it, he would have left his mark on history in some other way. But that's all we've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this look back at an unwilling pawn in a deadly game. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. And we'll see you out there.